What's up, guys? Tavern Keep Zakis here. We are going to do a survival 101. Get you guys started into Valheim. Whether you're new or experienced, I do hope you enjoy your stay. What we're going to do is teach, or at least give some advice on how to progress in the world of Valheim. All the little neat tricks on what we can do. That way we can have some fun along the way, survive, and hopefully thrive. Now, we're going to get extra resources and portal items. That way we spend a little less time building and stuff, and I'll try to cut things out in the video. Kind of like here. This is also a learning experience for me, so I'm going to turn the light off after a cut and try to cut out me turning it off and see what happens. Oh, here we go. Now that should be edited out. Hopefully we do good on that. Alright. There will be new players. We're going to go over a lot of information real quick. Don't hesitate to pause if you need to. Okay. Now this is how you find the first boss. You're going to interact with it. It's going to pull it up on the map. Day 1 started. We have 21 minutes till the first night. So on any difficulty, you can kind of do this as well. First thing I'm going to do is grab stone and wood. You can find that laying around on the ground. You're going to need it for crafting. Behind the 4th and 5th boss, there is food. There's always food. There's mushrooms behind motor. And there's raspberries behind yard. Now, preferably we want to go to a coast and get wood on the way. So this is exactly what we want to do. You want to keep your food buffs up between health and stamina. You want to stay rested. We'll go over that in just a moment. There's going to be a few cuts in the video. That's just me practicing editing some different things. Now, regardless of difficulty, a lot of creatures in the meadows is scared of fire. So if you run near them with a torch, they're just always going to run from you. So if you're feeling overwhelmed early or you're new and you're just like, I don't know what to do, and this shit's rough, pull out your torch. We're looking for flint. It's always going to spawn on the coast. A good way to get your tools started. Now since he's coming at me, I'm pulling my torch out. He won't melee me. As soon as I put it away, he'll come back. Now they have a delayed attack, which you can block and parry. If you don't know, blocking, at least on computer, just right click. If you block right before he hits you, unless he hits the ground, it'll be that way. You can parry. Now there is a plus and minus to parrying compared to blocking. Blocking uses less stamina, but blocks less. When you parry, you get double block value. Well, depending on what you're blocking with. But parrying always takes 20 stamina. So if you're trying to parry a lot of mobs at once, you're gonna run out of stamina real quick. Something you really don't want to do. Stamina management is really important in this game. Food management and buff management, depending on what type of biome or environment you're in. This game does have biome progression. So right now we're gonna do a let's play on meadows, which is the first biome. Go ahead and get you started. Now, first thing we want to make is a hammer. That way we can build. You can always make a club or another torch. Every new character starts with a torch. You can break branches with a torch. You seen me doing that earlier. But just to show, even if it breaks, you can punch it. Takes more work. We could do it, or just find the materials laying on the ground. Alright, we're gonna cut up some wood. Well, we got some wood. So let's go ahead and get what we need down. Now, You can use this as a roof without a lot of work. When you put the workbench down, if you look at these two things right here, I'm trying to make this as close as possible and in between it. So when I place it down, I'm going to use a 26-degree roof. And sometimes it'll let us do it and sometimes it won't. A big issue with this is just because of the ground and the terrain. The way it works is just a little weird. So generally finding a nice level spot to do that trick works. This looks like it'd be a good one. Just like that. It's a little tricky. It's a good way to do material. If you have issues with it and you're just like, man, that's a lot of work, I don't feel like dealing with it. To get your structure set up, you don't need to get any tools first, but we'll do it this way. Make a nice little elevated platform. There's structural integrity in the game. Blue is base, like it's base level foundation. Generally anything attached to ground or that has a start value of build. For example, wood can only go so high, or stone, or whatever, right? The first one that's blue is going to be showing you exactly what your limits are. Let's do these this time. Then we get a little structure here too. Okay. Now, tools we like to make. I like going straight for the flint axe. You can go for the stone axe early, but flint axe cuts wood faster. It's a nice fighting tool. One of my favorites. And we also need to get rested. So let's grab some more wood. We'll throw down a campfire. And we're also going to make a hoe. That way we can make a level ground for whenever we do build. That's going to be pretty useful to have. Now, you can rest out in the open. If something's going to aggro, if you sneak and you see that eye, something sees you. You can't rest while something's got aggro. So we're going to go ahead and take care of him. He's also scared of fire too. So if he gets too close to that fire on the ground or a torch, he won't melee me. We pull this guy out. And we have an axe out. He's not going to do anything. It's also kind of a pain to chase him. So generally I don't do it. But new players that do have trouble, they can. Alright, so if we sneak, nothing sees us. We have a flat line. So we're going to sit here and chill for 30 seconds. And then we'll skip through it. Get you rested. Alright, now we're rested. This is a compendium. If you talk to Hugin, that bird will spawn near things to tell you what to do, kind of give you hints and tips to kind of progress without ruining it too much. You also get skills, how you level. Yellow on the top bar is from 0 to 100. This orange's bar is the experience of how close to you level. So if I hit like once or twice with clubs, I'll get to level 3. Compendium is important for active effects too. So if you look at rested, you got eater, which is mana regen. You'll see that later in the game. Stamina regen, health regen. It's really important to have these. What it doesn't tell you, it gives you double experience. Well, 50% more, technically. So every hit in the game is 1 experience. So that'd be 1, 2, 3 XP and wood cutting. But since I'm rested, it's 1.5. So it'd be 1.5, 3, 4.5. Regardless of how much damage you do. So I guess to save time of the video, that way you guys can get straight to the point. I'm gonna go ahead and farm some wood. We're gonna cut a lot of this up, and then we'll start working on building the structure. Alright, we got a little bit cut up. We're gonna pull out the hoe and keep slapping around to make everything level. Now there's a couple things I've noticed people don't know about with the hoe. The little circles if the ground is higher from where you're currently standing, these will cut out. And if you keep hitting the level button, you'll eventually see the circle get bigger as it levels it out. Second important thing, if you go to lower ground, there's a line that shows up. This is pretty much telling you what the distance is from where you're standing to where you get mouse over. So if you level it, it'll try to bring it up. Now, you can only do it so much without adding stone, which is like raised ground. So if you look at how big this is, and I'm hitting it, it's not going up. If we raise the ground and go back to level, you can see it's higher than what we are. But generally, you can move it a couple meters back up and down. So doing this over and over is how I'll make the really good flat areas to build. So what we're going to do is speed up, allow this process. We're going to level all this out. Then we're going to build. Okay. We have a nice little spot here. You could do this just about anywhere. As far as raising the ground a little bit, you can find a somewhat decent area. Now we're going to make a pretty basic shelter. We're not going to go to anything fancy this early. But we're going to do a 3x3. It should be enough room to get kind of a little bit of everything that you want in it. We do want a door, so we're going to throw a door here. And then this is something I personally do. Fire for rested. You are going to need to have it ventilated. You can see the smoke coming up from here. Generally, the smoke needs about 2 meters breathing room, otherwise it'll choke out or go out. If you don't have it ventilated for yourself instead of a structure, you can get smoked out, but you just passively take damage. We're gonna use the 45s on these. Now, this, you put a wall here. It's still technically going to be ventilated. The little box we have. You can either put a roof on the outside. You'll see me on stream do it from the inside by snapping. But this is what it looks like on the outside. And if you want to be fancy or put anything else in it, you can. Like these. You don't want to use the 26 on this, because the fire will eventually choke out and go out, or won't be ventilated well. So that's why we use that one. Alright, we got a first little structure. So, next thing we're going to do is furnish it a little bit. Get you nice and started. This is going to be inside of a home. It's got a roof. The wood won't degrade because it's got a roof above it. If you put the wood on the outside and build like this without a roof, it doesn't degrade over time, but it degrades every time it rains. It'll degrade down to half. So if you look at the yellow bar, that's the durability of it. It'll go down to half. Now we're going to need a bed. That would play as the dude end up dying. You want to interact with it so you can set your spawn point. We're inside of a structure. We have a fire nearby and it's ventilated, so we can rest. If the game says it's time to rest, usually after a certain period of time. Don't remember the exact amounts. Generally by like a little after midday, you can sleep and make it day again. So if you don't like playing at night, that's how you do it. Sleep. We also want to make a chest where we can store items. And you can always do something like this, the 1x1 floors, something I'd like to do to make little shelves. So now I got a nice little storage unit. And then as we get upgrades and craft, we'll progress through the game. Now, we got a house. We got storage. We got a bed. We need to make food. So we're going to use a cooking station. You can fit a lot of these guys on here. You can fit up to like 5. Generally, I leave a little room. Because that way I can add fire fuel, so we'll do that. We did pick up some boar meat, so we're going to go ahead and interact with it. You can either just click the interact button or use the button on your thing. Either one works. And then we'll wait for a second to get done cooking. Sound of deliciousness. Alright. Now we got 3 food. You should have a home, structure, all that other goodness. You can't get raided because we have 3 base structures now, which is counting the bed, the fire, and the workbench. Early on, the only one that can happen is Ichthyr rallies the forest. And the next, which are the little mudkips, and the boar are scared of fire, so if you just stand near your base, they ain't gonna do nothing. And you can wait it out. Or you can farm them. Either one works. We're gonna collect some materials here. Make some more important items as well. We do have leather scrap, so you can always work on making a knife. Or actually we need one more flint. That way we'll make a chopping block. That's going to be important, so when we start working on the deer and making armor, we'll progress and get you started. Yep, here's a nice easy video how to make it through your first day without a lot of work. We'll progress a little bit more throughout my time in Valheim. Say if we get 100 likes. If we get 100 likes on the video, y'all enjoyed it, you want to see more content of progression, we'll take you from 0 to hero, from a new character to fighting queen. So if y'all enjoyed this, we'll do it a little bit more often. Let me know what y'all think. We're going to be working on doing a little more editing, but I gotta get to streaming. I stream every day on Twitch. If you want to come say hi, ask questions, follow and hang out, you're more than welcome. But like any other Viking that needs his rest, that's exactly what we're going to do. Till next time, peace out.